She always said she hated sharing her location, called it invasive and controlling. But that night she slipped. One accidental ping, one dot on the map. And that dot was nowhere near her sister's house, like she said. It was parked outside a hotel. Room lights on, and curtains open. And someone else's car parked right beside it. My name's Kyle McLean. I'm 34 years old, living in Sacramento, California. I manage inventory systems for a logistics company. Basically, I make sure warehouses don't fall into chaos. Not glamorous, but it's organized, predictable, and I like that. I've always been the dependable type, never missed a birthday. I send good morning texts and pick up almond milk even though I'm lactose tolerant because she preferred it in her cereal. It's that kind of guy. Her name was Jenna. She worked in interior design, ran her own boutique operation, mostly upper end clients. She had this way of transforming dull rooms into something ... alive. Our friends said we were opposites. Me, structured and steady. Her, a storm of creativity, always running 10 minutes late but lighting up every room she entered. We met 5 years ago at a wine and paint night of all places. My coworker bailed last minute and left me with the ticket. Jenna was there with 2 girlfriends, painting a sunset that looked more like an orange blob. I told her that. She laughed so hard, wine nearly came out her nose. That was the moment I knew. We moved in after a year. Adopted a rescue beagle named Rufus. Made Saturday mornings our ritual farmer's market. Croissants and overpriced lattes we always complained about but bought anyway. We had Spotify playlists titled things like Cooking Vibes and Long Wall, Drive Cry Songs, Inside Jokes, Shared Toothbrushes. Real love. But about a year ago, the energy shifted. It wasn't one big event. It was the silence, the missed I love yous. The fact that she stopped singing in the kitchen. Her phone started becoming part of her body. She used to leave it everywhere. Kitchen counter, bathroom sink. It was always in her pocket. Screen tilted away. She'd go out for client meetings but wouldn't say who. She said I was overthinking it, that I was just stressed from work. Maybe. I was. Maybe it was just in my head. But one Thursday evening, I walked into the room, and she flinched like she wasn't expecting me. Her phone lit up in her hand, and before she could lock it, I saw the name at the top of the message thread, D. No last name, just D. I didn't say anything, just swallowed it. That night, I laid in bed next to her, pretending to sleep. She kept her back to me the whole time. Rufus, who usually snuggled between us, had jumped off the bed. It was colder than usual. Something inside me shifted. I didn't know what yet. But I knew the clock had started ticking over the next few weeks. I started paying attention, really paying attention. Jenna had always been spontaneous, but now it felt erratic. She'd get up early, shower, do her hair and makeup just to grab coffee with a client, except she wouldn't come back smelling like coffee. She'd come back wearing that perfume I gave her for our anniversary, the one she used to say she'd only wear on special nights with me. Her phone was on silent all the time. She used to leave it on vibrate and forget it everywhere. Now, even the vibration was off. Face down, out of sight, and always in her hand. One night, while we were eating dinner, it buzzed on the table, lit up with a message that just said, "Tonight," from D. She reached for it so fast, she knocked over her wine. I pretended not to notice. But inside, I felt like I'd been punched in the chest. I asked casually, "Who's D?" She didn't even blink. "A new decorator I'm training. He's super green." I nodded, took another bite. And I hated myself for not saying more. But you know that feeling, right? When the truth is probably right in front of you, but confronting it means risking the comfort of the life you've built. So I waited. I started checking her Instagram more. She never posted pictures of us anymore. Her captions used to say things like date night with my favorite human. Now it was just latte art, sunsets, and vague quotes about growth and letting go. She started working late, a lot. I offered to pick her up once, and she snapped, "Kyle, you don't need to babysit me. I'm fine." That wasn't like her. We used to love riding together, talking in the car, holding hands at red lights. One night, while folding laundry, I found a receipt in her coat pocket. 2 cocktails, 1 entree. at a rooftop bar we'd never gone to. Dated last Friday, the same night she told me she was helping her sister paint her apartment. I confronted her, not with anger, just quiet disbelief. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "That was with Alyssa. She just had wine." I wasn't that hungry. I stared at her for a few seconds, long enough that she looked away first. That's when the gaslighting started. "Kyle, you're acting really insecure lately. This is why I don't tell you things, you overreact. You're suffocating me." Every time I tried to talk about what I felt, she flipped it. I started apologizing for things I didn't even do. I began to doubt myself. Was I really being too sensitive? Was I losing her because I wasn't exciting enough? One night, around midnight, she got a call and walked into the kitchen to take it. I followed quietly and stood just outside the doorway. Her voice was low, laughing, flirty. I heard her say, "You're terrible." In that way she used to say it to me. I felt like a ghost in my own home. Then came the mistake. 3 nights later, she left for another late client dinner. An hour in, I got a ping on my phone. We used to share locations for safety. She turned hers off months ago. But something went wrong. Her phone must have glitched. Maybe she accidentally hit share my location again, and there it was. A dot on a map. Not downtown, not at her sister's place. It was in the parking lot of a motel off I-80. The kind of place with flickering signs and no front desk after 10 p.m. My stomach dropped. I zoomed in, praying I was wrong, but I saw the name of the motel. Then I saw the car, her car, next to another one. Black Audi, tinted windows, parked crooked like someone in a rush. I didn't even think. I just stared, frozen, and something inside me snapped quietly. But permanently. I didn't drive out there. That's probably what you're wondering. But no, I didn't. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. Every nerve in my body was screaming at me to jump in my truck and drive straight to that motel. To knock on doors, to see it with my own eyes, but I didn't need to, because I already knew. And something about seeing that blue dot on the map, still unmoving. Right next to that Audi, in the parking lot of a rundown motel just off the highway, it told me more than I ever wanted to know. I closed the app, sat there on the couch in the dark. Rufus lay at my feet, sighing. Even he seemed to know, so I began collecting things. Quietly, slowly, screenshots, location history, photos from her Instagram, with vague captions posted at times that didn't align with the stories she'd told me. I checked old receipts I'd thrown in a drawer. I logged into our shared Spotify account and saw a new playlist she hadn't told me about. It was called When It's Just Us. Clicked it. It was filled with slow R&B songs, tracks we never listened to together, songs about secrecy, about late nights. It's about stolen love. I took screenshots of everything. I copied it all into a folder on a flash drive. I still didn't say anything. I waited for more days. On the 5th, I got my chance. It was her birthday. She thought I'd forgotten. She'd been cold all morning, gave me a half-hearted thanks. When I left a card on the counter, I didn't bring up dinner, didn't talk about the gift. She left around 6:30 p.m. for what she said was a spa night. With her friends, I waited until she was gone. Then I got dressed, khakis buttoned down, clean shave, like I was heading somewhere special, and I was. I drove to her parents' house. We'd been close for years. Her mom treated me like a son. Her dad and I played poker together once a month. They were my family too. They greeted me at the door, confused but happy. I told them I needed 10 minutes. I plugged in the flash drive. Played. A short video I had recorded from her call the night she forgot I was home, audio of her whispering into the phone, laughing, saying, "Not tonight, he's suspicious." Her mom went pale. Her dad stood up halfway through and left the room. I gave them the flash drive, and I left. I didn't text her. I didn't answer her call when she tried reaching me later, but I had one last move. I went home, packed a single bag, and left a letter on the bed. Not angry, just the truth. I wrote, "Jenna, I didn't need proof, but you gave it to me anyway. I loved you. I gave you the benefit of every doubt. You turned that into an opportunity to lie more. You broke something. In me, I didn't know could break. I'm leaving. I won't ruin your life. You'll do that on your own, but I won't be here to watch. Don't call me. Then I took Rufus, locked the door behind me, and drove off. I went to stay at a friend's place for the weekend, but apparently she didn't go quietly, because by the time I checked my phone again, I had 37 missed calls, 14 voicemails, 9 texts from her, 2 from her mom. One of the voicemails was just her, sobbing. Another was her whispering, "I messed up. Please come home." But it was the last text she sent that stuck with me. I only stayed the night with him once. You were always the one I loved. That was the moment I realized, she didn't even understand what she'd done after I left. I crashed with my buddy Ray for a week. He didn't ask many questions, just offered beer, space, and silence. Kind of support only a lifelong friend knows how to give. I turned my phone off for the first 3 days. I didn't want to hear her voice, didn't want to read her pleas. I didn't trust myself not to answer. Because despite everything, part of me still loved her. Isn't that the cruelest part? You can know someone shattered you and still feel the echo of love in your chest, like a ghost trapped in the walls of a house that's already been burned to the ground. When I finally turned my phone back on, there were over 50 messages. Most were from her fewer from mutual friends, people who were suddenly shocked. Even though they had probably seen the signs too. Her mom messaged once, "I'm so sorry, Kyle, you didn't deserve this. Please know you still have a place in our family." That one broke me, because I really did love her family. And I hadn't just lost a partner, I'd lost an entire life I'd built around her. I didn't reply. I moved my things out of our apartment 2 weeks later. She wasn't there. I picked a time when I knew she'd be at work, or at least wherever she claimed to be these days. Packing up was surreal. The little photo booth strip from our weekend in Napa was still on the fridge. Her robe still hung on the bathroom hook. The Spotify speaker still auto-connected to her phone when I walked in. Rufus followed me from room to room, watching like he didn't understand why the nest was coming undone. I left her the apartment. I didn't want it. Too many memories soaked into the walls. Too many nights of silent dinners and muffled cries in the shower. I stayed with Ray a bit longer, eventually found a 1-bedroom across town. Small, quiet, cheap. But mine? I started going to therapy. Just once a week, but enough. Enough to start naming the things I was feeling. Grief, betrayal, shame, numbness. The therapist said something during our second session that stuck with me. You're not mourning her, Kyle, you're mourning the future you built in your head. And that version of her was never real. She was right. Jenna tried to reach out a few times after that. The texts went from apologies to anger to desperation and back again. She wrote, "You never fought for us. Funny how the person who set the fire gets mad at you for walking away from the flames. She even showed up once, outside my building. I saw her from the window, just standing there, holding some letter. I didn't go down. She left after 10 minutes. I found the letter taped to the door later. It was 8 pages long, handwritten, full of contradictions. She said she missed me, that she hated herself, that D was a mistake, that she thought I didn't love her anymore. She was scared, that she felt alive with him. She felt nothing with him. She was sorry. I never opened the envelope. I just knew what it would say. Instead, I burned it in the sink. Maybe that was dramatic, but it felt right. Some months later, I ran into D. His name was Darren. He worked at some real estate firm nearby. Recognized him from one of the photos I'd found. He recognized me too. He looked sheepish. Tried to give me a head nod, like some twisted man-to-man understanding. I just stared at him. Didn't speak, didn't need to. He looked away first. Later, found out Jenna's business started losing clients. Word spreads fast in design circles. Maybe it was karma. Maybe it was her unraveling. I didn't feel joy in that, just distance. That life wasn't mine anymore. It's been a year now. I won't lie to you. There are still days when it stings. When I hear a song she used to hum while making pancakes, or smell that brand of vanilla lotion she wore. Healing doesn't move in a straight line. Some days you feel free. Others you feel like you're just surviving. But I'm not the same. Man, I was back then. Back then I would have forgiven her if she cried hard enough. I would have accepted half-truths just to keep the illusion alive. Would have begged for the version of her that only existed in my memories now.
Now I know.
Peace isn't something someone gives you. It's something you decide to take back. Quietly. Relentlessly. Like breath after. Almost drowning, I started doing things just for me. I go hiking again. I signed up for pottery classes on a dare from my therapist, and I'm honestly terrible but it's fun. I let Rufus sleep on the couch now because who cares? It's his house too. I still think about her sometimes. Not the real her, but the echo of her. I don't hate her. I just don't need her anymore. And that's the difference. She used to say I was boring, predictable, that I didn't live enough. But I've learned something. Predictable doesn't cheat. Predictable shows up. Predictable stays. So yeah, maybe I am boring. But I'm also finally free. And when I lay my head down at night, there's no second guessing. No paranoia. No lies in the walls. Just quiet. She shared her location by mistake. That night, and in doing so, she helped me find my way back to myself. She got the apartment. I got my dignity. If you enjoyed my story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life stories like this.